Let's get a traffic update as well from Thania Dhoogra, the operations manager of the N3 Toll Concession. And good morning to you, Thania, and happy Easter to you. How is the N3 looking this morning at this time?
Good morning, Tamela, and happy Easter to you and all your viewers as well. The N3 is looking really good at the moment. Apart from some weather reports of it being partly cloudy this morning, traffic is flowing. There are no disruptions. We are seeing an increase in traffic volumes. We're currently sitting at about 1,200 vehicles an hour heading southbound towards KwaZulu-Natal. But thus far, no incidents reported and everything is flowing smoothly.
Yesterday, go.
It was not as busy as we expected. We had volumes reaching, the highest we reached is 1,300 vehicles an hour during the day. We did have a steady stream of traffic throughout most of the day, though, and that continued until just around 10 p.m. last night before it finally tapered off. But we're definitely not the highs that we were expecting. But we have seen that there's been an increase in traffic on the route already from early this morning, starting at between 4 and 5 this morning already. We had almost 800 vehicles out and about on the route, which is quite unusual for a Saturday. For a Friday,
right?
a holiday.
And speaking of what you usually are used to, accustomed to, were expecting, I suppose, under normal circumstances at this time of the year, how does traffic usually look like on the route?
Well, typically what we would have seen or what we were expecting to see yesterday is really high volumes in the afternoon of around 2,500 vehicles an hour. And we were expecting that we should see similar today around the periods of 9 o'clock in the morning and continuing until about 12 noon. We do still expect that we will see quite heavy traffic on the route. Like I said, we have seen already quite a number of people out and about from early this morning. It might not reach the highs of 2,500 vehicles an hour, but we are still warning people to please expect that and to expect possible congestion on the route. And our forecast is that the traffic should ease from around 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah. So, Thania, just in terms of law and safety authorities, can those be expected today?
Absolutely. Our law enforcement officials, emergency services, they have pulled out all the stops this Easter in particular. They are maintaining high visibility on the route. They're strategically located at points all along the route so that they can respond quickly, but also that they can carry out, those kind of strategic law enforcement interventions like stop and searches, looking for, both checking for vehicles, roadworthiness, etc., but also for any contraband substances, and obviously making sure that all our drivers are in a good state to be out and about on the roads.
Yeah. And your appeal as opposed to motorists travelling today, as well as you continue to appeal, I suppose, as well for no carnages on the road.
Very much, very, very much. I mean, I'm really happy to report that the road is clear at this stage. And again, appealing to our motorists to please help us to keep it that way. It is a shared responsibility, road safety, not just for people in the cars, but for our pedestrians who are out and about in those local communities along the N3 toll route. We'd like to keep everybody safe and sound, not just Easter, but every single day. And we want to make sure that everybody is able to get home safely. But in the event of any emergencies, I'd like to remind our road users to please contact our 24-hour N3 helpline on 0800 634357 so that we can get the emergency services out to them as quickly as possible, and we can make sure that the roadway is kept clear and open to traffic. And obviously that they can please plan ahead and be prepared by staying informed about what's happening on the route by following us at N3 Route on Twitter.
And just before I let you go, Thania, any tips you can share with our motorists who may be, exhausted, travelling overnight, tried to get home early to see family just in time for breakfast, but at the detriment, I suppose, at their own expense and their own health and the health and safety of others? What would your tips be when travelling, particularly this time of the year?
It's the standard that we reiterate to everyone all the time. It's that please make sure that you make the journey part of the whole thing, and your trip part of your whole experience so that you can enjoy yourself and get there safely. Yeah. Don't speed. Don't ever drive if you're not sober, and don't drive if you're tired. If you're tired, make sure that you stop regularly, at least every 2 hours or every 200 kilometers. But also, please make sure that you stop in a place that it's safe to do so. Yeah. Always make sure that you're visible on the road. And make sure that you're maintaining those following distances and that you only ever overtake when it's safe to do so.
Absolutely, because most of the accidents we see on the roads are avoidable. They can be avoided if you, of course, incorporate some of those tips. Thania, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. And Thania Dhoogra from the N3 Toll Concession saying that the volumes aren't as they expected, and please appealing to motorists to exercise caution as they make their way to their various destinations, using particularly that N3 Toll route.